don't know. Just ask her if she has any comments. Okay. Kathy, do you have any comments? Kathy?
Let me tell you something. You don't hit this car. I'll put you in jail right now.
You hit me.
Excuse me. He was standing here.
I was standing here, and you were trying to drive right through me. I was trying to ask Miss Dent, why are there only 3 machines that zeroed out when you've got 6 or 7 machines in operation? She won't give me an answer. She said, not to me. Why?
And don't
Why
run.
not to me?
Drive slowly here. Kathy, do you have any answers? Kathy? Kathy! Please, we just have a question.
This is the tape, the day's tape for precinct number 4, and it shows that the number of terminals opened in the morning was 10 terminals. And then it gives you the serial numbers of each one, and it shows the time it was opened and the number of votes that were on the machine at that time, the total number in the history of the machine, and then the so-called public count, the number of votes since this moment. So this is where the machine should start, at 0, and at the end of the day we should get the count for this machine. And it shows here it was opened at 6:16 a.m. and 32 seconds this morning on the 7th of November 2006. Now if we go down, each of the others looks the same until we get down here. And on about the 5th machine here, it shows the time opened was gibberish, really. It looks like January 1994, and the date is a 5-digit date, 45179, which doesn't make any sense.
This is a totally different story. This is the more interesting story. They zero out the machines in the morning, and to make sure that there's no data in there, that there's no votes been already recorded. And what we noticed is that there are, I believe 8 machines being used currently, but there are only 3 up here that have actually been zeroed out for this precinct. And that's what we were trying to ask Kathy Dent about. Why are there only 3 machines here when there are several more being used inside? And I've watched them. I went in and looked, and they're actively using all the machines in Precinct 22. And then it's signed down at the bottom by the poll watcher, by the polling officials, and saying that this is the certified record of the machines that are in use today. Our question to Kathy Dent was, why the discrepancy? Why are there only 3 machines that were zeroed out and certified this morning, but there are several more being used? What's going to happen to the votes on those machines that are recorded that weren't certified? Are they valid? Can they get the data off of them? If they couldn't get a 0 tally here in the morning, then how can they expect to get a legitimate tally at the end of the day at 7 o'clock? Unless someone goes in and fixes the machine. And if someone fixes the machine, then how can we all be sure that when they're fixing the machine, they don't actually accidentally somehow change the numbers?
Let's go. Good? That I can read. Yeah.
We have to do the flash card.
I find it rather suspicious that 3 of the machines at the end of the day have 53 voters having voted on them, and 2 other machines have 76 voters having voted on them total in one day at the same precinct. All in a row, too. There were only 4 undervotes for governor and 6 undervotes for governor, and for congressperson there was 64 undervotes at one precinct and 70 at the other.
Who's to say what votes were placed on those machines? If we had paper records, we could actually go back and, it's only 4, there might be maybe 400 votes. Those could be tallied by hand if the paper ballot was the official record. And then there'd be no question. And Kathy Dent wouldn't have to go speeding off trying to avoid the camera.